Why y'all so slow? I just updated 4 Twitter accounts and Facebook.
Yeah, because I was retyping stuff on the other Facebook pages.
That video.
Not liking and sharing?
Yeah, nothing's been posted yet.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just not looking.
Girl, I know you felt it. Ooh, you know I can't help it. Making it hard for me. I can see you saying, I'm trying to hack it by you.
I got you.
Real soon. Making it hard for me. Ain't a good idea. Okay. Hello?
Hi there.
Must be.
Does he have one now?
No.
I'm ready when you are.
Yes. Why are you staring at me?
Is it blowing kisses to your computer?
Downloading assignments.
Yeah, so I figured out some of them on IMDb are listed as 7 episodes, 2015 to 2016. And I realized that they update it if they see them in the preview for next year's episode. So like Mercedes and, Ophelia and Daniel, Alicia, and I think Chris have been updated to say 2015, 2016. Because it's people who we know are going to be back.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo.
And then we got the web series that starts next week or something like that. It's like 13 mini episodes or something.
Yeah. Which is really probably just extra.
Okay.
Oh, the zombie on the plane?
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be fun.
Okay, and one of the people from the plane will join the cast in season 2.
Yeah, I thought they were saying it was going to be somebody from The Walking Dead that was on the plane.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have one unheard message.
So I'm guessing maybe it'll be somebody we've seen somewhere at the start of Walking Dead, maybe.
Yeah.
And or probably in a flashback or something. You know, things they showed before it actually went to hell.
Yeah.
I hate when people call you like 20 fucking times. Just to say the same thing.
Who calls you 20 rounds?
Her case manager for REM.
You ready, Princess?
Yeah.
Can I go?
My bad.
So that was wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Your phone on silent now?
Mhm.
Alright. Hang on a sec.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another bonus episode, Dirty Shore Underground.
Hey everybody, Rob from the Early End Podcast. New episodes every Tuesday. Make sure you check out new episode of the Early End Podcast today while this is live. And new episodes of this podcast every Thursday. Make sure you go to dirtyshoreunderground.com to get the newest episodes.
This is Colin Graves from Uncommon Gaming Streams, Uncommon Gaming Streams on Facebook, Uncommon GS, Facebook, and Twitter. Nice to see you guys again.
So, let's start out with what I really want to talk about. And that's the fact that Rob is a genius, and once again...
Shouldn't you start with the spoiler alert?
Oh, shit, sorry.
Spoilers, Rob's a genius. Spoilers, guys. Spoilers.
But as always, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about Fear the Walking Dead Episode 6, The Good Man. And we're going to be talking about the entire season, this entire season of the Fear the Walking Dead, as well as most likely references to The Walking Dead Seasons 1 through 5. So if you haven't seen any of that stuff, pause this, go watch it, come back.
It's pretty good.
There you go.
Definitely all right.
So, now that we're going to start talking, let's talk about how Rob is a motherfucking genius and needs to be on TV. What are the two things I have called this season?
The death, man.
Number one,
Liza's death.
Liza was going to be the first to die. Now, I did change that last week. I changed it because she seemed like she was in the safest possible place. And I knew they were going to come get her, but I didn't know that they were going to come get her the way that they did.
Oh, yeah.
Although, leading to point number two, which is I said last episode that Daniel is smart, and he's going to think that's a distraction I can use to get us out of here. Again, didn't think it was going to be used the way that it was, but let's start there. How fucking was that moment?
Oh, man, I was just watching it and rewatching part of it right before you guys showed up, and I just started kind of giggling about the whole thing because they're like, "You can't be here," and he's like, "You might want to save them bullets." And he
walks up, but he's just strolling. He's strolling with the flashlight, not a care in the world, and I don't know that he has seen a walker yet, other than the one that was in the house. So I don't know how he knew when he bangs that lock off that they're all going to be slow. Because we see Victor Strand earlier in the episode saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. They're slow. We can get in and get out."
That's not earlier in the episode. That's after the compound.
Oh, you're right. After he leaves. So later on, we see Victor saying that he knows. How Victor knows, I don't know.
When the asshole commander or lieutenant or whatever is getting ate by the zombie.
Yes. Which, good for him.
keep the
Yes.
But no, so Victor knows, however he knows, probably because he saw it before he came into the facility. But Daniel has no frame of reference for how quick the zombies move.
Well, he did torture that soldier who saw
Right.
like thousands of people turn. So
Well, no,
you know,
but he
maybe-
didn't. What he said is he knew that we were losing the forum, so he just locked everybody inside, healthy or not. So I'm sure the soldier has seen them, and maybe he did give him that information, but we didn't see that. And this is the shit I hate, why it can't be 5 hours long and we see everything that they shoot.
Yeah.
Which, can I make a comment about the insurance guy?
Okay, Victor, yeah.
There's something about him that would prove that he's seen stuff before, because for the simple fact of, like, when they're at his house,
Yeah.
he grabs a picture and doesn't
Right.
show what the picture is.
Right.
And when Nick and all them are talking about, well, can we stay here? And he's like, no one can.
Right.
And then...
Well, so he'd been saying he wants to get back to Abigail. And I think everybody, including me, was assuming that Abigail was somebody. And when he grabs that picture, I'm like, okay, so that he must
I'm
be
wondering if
grabbing a picture of
Abigail is somebody. But, and that's what he named his boat after.
Could be, but I think that Victor is just a survivor.
Yeah.
He always knows how to get through
A
things.
quick rename of the boat. I actually, the first time I heard him say, "You got to get to Abigail," I did assume a town just because of what the world is. So
Fair
it could
enough.
have been a code name for a town. It
They're
doesn't
not
say.
going to leave it alone.
But turns out it's a boat. So,
Yes. A very badly
Oh,
CGI'd boat.
Can we say
Can we
that?
say-
Did you
yeah.
notice how bad the CGI
That was real bad. I cracked up laughing when it was like, oh, yes, oh yeah, that's a boat, all right. That's a boat.
They blew their whole CGI budget on the opening graphic, which was the city.
Yeah.
So, do you know how they make those?
Between
by the way?
that,
Probably-
between that and the zombies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, no, so they shot the city in daytime,
Oh.
and then they shoot day for night. So that means the sky itself is shot at night. The city is shot during the day. That's how you have no visible lights on in the windows. And then they go through and turn out any lights that are actually on, turn some fires on. I mean, that had to be like probably like a couple $100,000 shot, especially with the helicopter cam to shoot it. So then they got to the boat and they're like, you know what, just toss a boat on there. Any old boat will do.
Clip art, fine.
And it's like rock, and the ocean's supposed to be clear and blue, and I get that, but it
Yeah.
looked so fake rocking on the ocean.
Well, just because it was like the only thing there. You know,
Right.
basically the waves are just kind of just like a repeating loop where it's just up and down. And,
Just going.
What I want to know is how the hell they're supposed to get to the boat.
Well, so we know that that you can get to the beach from his house.
Yeah.
My guess is that he's got a Kodiak or like an inflatable raft,
Yeah.
and that's how he parked it there and then got to his house.
If nothing else, with all the waterfront property that was there, there's probably
Somebody.
another boat
Which
around.
would again say he probably already knew.
Well, and see, here's the thing we got to keep in mind. There's been some time change. So we see Victor for the first time at day 14 or 15, after Nick gets taken and Liza gets taken. So there are people who are, you know, and in our universe we have these things, so we get prepared. But I think even in that universe, there are guys who are survivors, and he is a survivor.
Preparers.
And he's just like, no matter what happens, I'm always going to have an answer. Shit starts hitting the fan. He's like, all right, go get the boat, anchor it off of my house, get back to my house, get everything ready to go. Then they take him. So it's a whole separate thing. But I think he's just ready for whatever.
Well, I mean, since he came in and packed a bag
Yeah.
when he first got there, I mean, I kind of refute that point because he doesn't have his clothes packed up. If he's a survivor, you know, if his plan is, well, he seems so far out of the city, like from
Right.
where they had him in that safe zone.
Well, but let's look at some context clues.
Okay.
One, he didn't have a backpack. So my guess is that he wasn't ready to roll out, but he knew what he had to pack because they'd been there about 3 minutes. Nick walks in, and the bag is done. He just grabs the picture and tosses it in. So he probably had a bug-out bag that he was checking and filling extra stuff on, take the picture. What is he wearing when he's locked up?
The suit.
With probably $1,000 cufflinks and a Rolex that's probably $8,000 or $9,000. So my guess is they took him from some event that he was at. He wasn't at his house. They didn't come get him at his house. You're not wearing that at your house. He was downtown. That's when he got taken. That's how he meets Nick, because he gets taken to the downtown facility. So, yes, you can be ready, but you can't be ready to roll out ready all of the time. So I think that he was mindset of shit's about to get crazy, but I got this. He's always about appearances too. I got something to do. I got to go do it. Maybe I'll meet the right people, movers and shakers. If this doesn't blow over, backup plan is ready to go. And the getting to his dress. How about that exchange between him and the guard? Like, there are characters that we've seen thus far. Victor doesn't give a shit about anybody. He left everybody caged up. Travis seemed like he was ready to leave everybody. Madison, of course, was like, no, we have to let everybody out. And Daniel was just like, wait, wife not here? Okay, I'm out. I got my own thing to worry about. But Victor, with a particular coldness towards the guy who had helped him out so much.
Yeah. Well, I like the guard as he's being eaten by the zombie in that hall in the entrance area. You know, where that had gotten his watch. You know, that was his plan out, and he goes, "Well, he's being eaten, so let me just get my stuff back. You can just." Yeah, that's a little weird if I take your watch off. So you can just have that, make you feel good as you're being eaten alive. But what did you really do for me? You took my stuff.
But here's the thing. I think in Victor's mind, part of that also is, I'm going to take your gun and your bullets.
Yeah.
You keep the watch.
Yeah.
I'll take the cufflinks back.
Trinket.
And see ya.
I
But-
think the cufflinks were a gift from somebody.
And we may, but see, here's the watch is much more likely to be a gift than the cufflinks, but it may come to
Now,
find out that.
if you watch movies about rich people,
Right.
that they give weird ass gifts. The cufflinks might have been a gift from his wife
Could be, and
or his daughter. You never know.
we're only gonna have to wait another 12 months to find
Oh,
out.
I have a
yeah.
feeling we won't wait that long.
Well, I think he's probably gonna get mentioned in the web series at least. Like, I feel like he's a character we needed to get into this. You need that cold-hearted character. Daniel's cold-hearted, but in a like, I'll do whatever it takes. Victor's like a listen, kid, you can come with me if you want. If you slow me down, I'm out. And then he realizes that his ride's gone, and he says, "Okay, hey kid, so you got people coming? Like, I'll go with you." But he just continually does the hopping back and forth.
All business all the time.
All business all the time.
You like Victor, don't you?
I fucking love Victor. I love everything about him because the thing was he was willing to sacrifice Nick as a distraction if he had to, and then eventually was like, all right, so this kid's gonna be a little more than just a distraction. Turns out I don't need that. And Nick palms the key.
Yeah, he did take the key from him, which I think earned Nick a little bit of respect with Victor. It's like, I might have underestimated Nick
Exactly.
a little bit.
And I think and Nick says later, and I think it's probably the best line from the entire season.
That was a...
Where, and I mean, I'm going to misquote it, but essentially, like, I've been wandering aimlessly my whole life. The rest of the world is just catching up to me.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think that he did get a little bit of respect from Victor in that moment. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, kid,
It was
okay.
everyone's now at that state where they have nothingness and nothing to look forward to. He said, I've been looking at this my whole life, and I finally feel like everybody's catching up to me. I already know where I'm at.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
Well, I don't know about me, but
Because, well,
How
technically
many
the zombies
pills
would
do
be
you think
yeah,
he
a
took
little
on
meeker.
his way out?
well, here's the thing, and
You didn't see him take pills. You saw his mother take pills.
I know.
But so I think the other thing we've gotten is the one wild card we were talking about is him withdrawing. That's done. He did that in the prison for whatever it's worth. So that now, as much as you want to see Nick dead, I think that he is in to stay.
You have no idea how pissed I was when Liza let them out. You have no idea. Because I'm sitting here with Nish and Kenny, and the zombies are getting closer and closer, and I'm going, yes.
That was a...
And then Liza let them out, and I'm like, no.
You really wanted him to die in front of his mom,
Yes.
just on the other side of glass saying,
You know what?
Go.
I
You know
wanted
what?
him to die.
I felt like that was actually a point where the Walking Dead series, Walking Dead would have killed off Nick and Victor in that moment.
Probably.
Fear the Walk, it's about characters. Just let them all go.
Well, I think that there's a lot of close calls like that, though. I mean,
That, and I think they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait till people are invested in the character,
Right.
so that they really feel it when they kill somebody off.
now
Oh,
that,
I'd have felt it. I'd have felt happiness
Well-
as soon as he died.
now that you've seen the rest of season 5,
Yes.
I can say that it looks like Glenn was about to get killed off, but
Yes.
he comes back with a vengeance.
That was paying homage to comic book incident.
That in the
It's-
collections.
yeah, it's-
What did I miss?
That's from season 5. Right at the
Just
end,
kids,
they
yeah.
chase him out in the woods.
Yeah.
But no, so Kirk, the writers all love you think they're dead. You think they're out of there, and they get saved. And then after they're like, oh, good, we're all safe. Out of nowhere, the guy gets bitten in
when
half.
Daryl and what's his face were trapped in the vehicle, you thought for sure they were done.
Thought for sure they were
And then
dead.
Morgan out of nowhere.
But on the other side, T-Dog.
Morgan out of nowhere.
T-Dog, you think everybody, he rescues Carol, you think everything's fine, and then out of nowhere, zombie, and they got him.
No, it's
So-
like it's the random leg bites. We're like, all right, and then just like take out the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Did anybody else
You know-
think it's funny when the soldier got bit that he just like ran smack dab into the helicopter propeller?
Well,
Now, we had a discussion about this last night.
because I thought that I thought he was just aimlessly stumbling.
But
I thought
And
he was
then-
taking himself out.
that's what
Yeah.
I said. So it's reminiscent of a scene in Day of the Dead, I think.
Dawn of the Dead? Or-
Maybe Dawn of the
It's not
Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
No, it would definitely be Day. It would be Day where a
Okay.
police officer walks into the tail of a helicopter. But he does it as he's wandering and aimless. That guy gets bit. We see him walk over to the copter. The guys try to get him in, and he's just like, no, 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 no. And he like walks away, and you see him stop and turn, and then just walk directly into the blades.
Yeah, because he's walking, and they're looking at him, and then you hear one of them say, "There's blood."
Yeah.
And he keeps going, and then he looks over, and that's when he starts.
Right. So I don't think
He
it was.
he puts his arms down as well. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is.
I think that it's the same thing, and I mean we should get to Exeter too. But I think it's the same deal with that Exeter is. They've seen people turn, they've seen them die, and he's like, oh, none of that, please, and just walks in. And by the same token, Dr. Exeter does the same thing. So a question that I didn't really get answered. Did they catch her killing all of the patients?
I don't think they did.
No.
No, they
walked
walked
afterwards.
in right as soon as she was done.
But
Yeah.
that's what she did. She did hit everybody with the thing.
Yeah, she's like, okay, the transports,
And then when
the
they
transports are going to be downstairs.
Yeah.
Everyone go.
Dot, dot, dot,
She's
dot,
like,
dot.
okay, yeah, now we got to do this.
And then when they left and walked out of the room after what's her name said she's lost, she turned it back on and went to pick the gun back up.
Right, because my initial thought was that they called her about to kill herself. That she, as they walked in, you see her look over and turn off the gas, as if she was like, oh, like I don't want to do this in front of you. But then I did watch a couple of videos, and I noticed that it looked like the one in front of her. She was sitting astride the head, and that it had the mark on the forehead. So I wasn't
That
sure.
was like the last one.
Right.
I felt like it would have been a, when Liza's trying to save her and then Madison comes up and it's like, no, she's broken.
Right.
And then they all leave. It was like, yeah, that's it does feel like a suicide moment there for the doctor.
I think it's got it. I mean, and sad because now we can see that the group could have used a doctor because the only one with medical care is Dunzo. But I think we learned from The Walking Dead that those hopeless people don't help you at all.
Yeah.
Like you end up just dragging them along, and they don't do you any good.
Like Ophelia now. Because she got shot by her boyfriend.
Yeah. So let's talk. First of all,
I didn't like that. I didn't like how that all worked.
The whole
at
thing.
all. Leaving the two kids in the SUV. The soldiers then just like roughing them up.
Right.
Taking the car and then like leaving them in the broom closet.
Well, and the vague threat of rape to the girl.
Yeah.
I was like, how unnecessary is that? Like, I get it. In that world, it would probably be something that happened
Every day.
but it was such like a one-off. It was just like, oh, you can, and then like getting real rough with her, and then
It's
black
just
out.
like the officers in the hospital in The Walking Dead. They
Right.
were raping the girls that were there.
But that was more of a symbiotic relationship. We keep you safe. This is what you do in exchange.
Okay,
This
that's the way he was looking at it.
Right,
You
and-
work with us,
But
we're keeping you safe, but we're gonna get something out of it too.
I think it was more of necessary in that moment because they didn't really get into it. It was
They just
make
want-
a comment, roll up.
And they just wanted to see Chris.
Before he left, we see him at the end crying over her. But I think that there's going to be a moment where she, we saw them with the popsicles making faces at each other, and they're going to have that looking at each other
Popsicles.
like, yeah. She stuck out
Did
her tongue.
anybody else think it was weird when Liza kissed Chris's neck?
No.
I did.
I mean, I
thought it
wouldn't.
was a little
My mom
weird.
wouldn't.
I thought it was
Yeah.
weird.
I mean, I think you have to keep in mind that
When was the last time they saw them in these life or death experiences
I
they're
don't
having?
care.
Yeah.
I would not have kissed my son's neck. It
she's
just-
also taller
that's
than her, and she
too-
like held him by the head and then kissed him on the neck. I think it was like just saying goodbye.
Okay,
It's
she
not like
moved
get on
back
your
a
knees and
little bit
kiss the
kissed him
ring
on the
type of thing.
cheek. I mean,
Maybe so, and maybe that also was just she realized that she wasn't tall enough, and in that take she hit it and walked out, and they're like, well, that was the best take, that's all we got. So, but,
Cutting room floor, this is what
yeah.
happens.
the kids are eating popsicles and showing each other their colored tongue or whatever,
Yeah.
and I felt like the next time we see them is going to be them having a moment like, that was so brave of you to step up and get beaten. Pow, chicka, wow, wow, and it's on. So,
A
But-
man can dream.
right.
But yeah, that whole thing where they just like left him in the broom closet, and
No,
then
see,
they all
didn't-
came
no,
down.
they didn't leave him in the
didn't.
broom closet.
Okay, well,
they went to hide.
They went to hide.
Yeah.
Fine. But then then the rest of the group comes downstairs to the parking lot. It's like the moment of panic. Like, oh, where's the truck? Where's the truck? Chris, Ophelia. And it's like, oh no, we're just over here.
Not just
We're
that, but
hiding.
didn't they say if we're not back in such and such time,
30
you
minutes.
all are to leave?
Right. So I think there was a little bit of panic of where are they? There's a little bit of panic of for the viewers saying, oh God, did they get taken?
Yeah.
And then the moment of, oh shit, did they leave us? Like, well, we didn't tell them to, but they left us. The other thing is, they don't get another car.
Yeah.
That garage is full of cars. None of them are going to get
Did they
claimed.
not check the sun visor? The keys are always in the sun visor.
At
Hell,
least
when in real life, when we were packing up trucks, the truck driver while we're packing up kept the keys in the sun visor.
That's always
the
where they
keys are in the sun visor.
I always like, there's sometimes where they have to break in the car.
Yeah.
So they break the window, go to search, and it's in the visor. I'm like, what good are your keys doing you in your locked car up in the sun?
Well, then it's like the actual push. Like my dad's Taurus has like the
push to
slide.
start. Yeah, yeah.
Well, not like push just to unlock the doors, because
Oh.
he'll just leave the keys in there and then go code and open the door. And he
Still
doesn't have
too much.
remote start, so he doesn't need his keys.
Right, yeah.
Remote start,
Unlike,
master race. Oh,
Like some people with their remote start.
oh, mine's back because my hood is no longer ajar. Car's fixed.
But
Car
so,
is fixed.
so
Fuck you, sign.
I also like that Travis once again showed himself to be a bitch
Mhm.
by like Daniel saying, "Yo, you're gonna attract walkers. Stop yelling." And he's like shrugs him off and keeps yelling, but immediately fixes it by
Beating the shit out of Andy.
fucking him up. And so my question is, why does Adams shoot the daughter? What's the point?
I think he felt betrayed by her.
Like she's the reason that all that happened to him.
She is, because she didn't, I guess she didn't know, but she did bring him there. But I mean, part of it I think is the most fucked up thing you can do to a father is not to hurt him. You hurt him, that's everything's done for him. But if he had actually shot and killed her, then that would have been like the worst pain he could have given to Daniel. Except for now we found out why he's driving a fucking truck, because he can't hit the broadside of a barn from 10 feet. He shot her in the
military.
shoulder. He shot her in the shoulder from 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But then they pile in the truck. They're going across town. Another great shot I thought of the city was them driving through the Los Angeles River. And for those of you who don't know, the Los Angeles River doesn't actually have any water in it usually. It's just dry. And going through and seeing all the like the lanes packed and the city just dead and burning. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was a great look too. So
pulling back and seeing the whole
Yeah.
aqueduct as you see like the wreckage of the city on each side.
But another great Victor moment where him and Madison have a little back and forth.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm gonna like you."
We're gonna get along
We're gonna get along.
just fine.
Yeah. But also, going to the Victor's survival instincts, he knows how to get home without getting on the highway.
Yeah.
Highway's a crapshoot. Side streets are going to be packed just like this. What can we do? Let's take the aqueduct.
Mm-hmm.
That'll take us all the way out to the ocean. So, all in all, Victor is badass, and God, I hope that he sticks around with it. He also feels like a Morgan, where like at some point he might be like, I've got
Have a bow staff and just start with.
well,
Go
that's
solo.
Morgan when he comes back. I mean, first Morgan where he's like, I don't need any of you. Get out of here.
In the town?
Yeah, when he's in the town. So I have that sense from Victor that he's also well, you've served my purposes as much as I can, and I don't need you, so you guys can go, and I'm going to go my own separate way. So.
You can go your own way.
Then with the end of the episode.
Right, back to where Rob was right again, calling the first episode.
Earlier in the season when the wife and ex-wife were talking.
Oh, and we talked about how that smart-ass comment that Madison made to Eliza, and then Eliza just feeds it right back to her. I love that.
And then Travis ended up being...
Well, so here's the question.
And she said, you can't ask me to do that. She said, why? You asked me.
So, and what, who actually shot Liza?
Travis.
Do you think it's Travis?
He took the gun.
It was Travis.
And he was so distraught after the fact.
Okay.
Which they said it'll break him.
Well, let me
and
ask
what
you.
What does he do? He walks
hold on.
out like he's
Hold
broken.
on, I think I know where he's getting at. What he's getting at.
What kind of reaction would you have if you had to shoot one of Kenny's exes? Right. What kind of reaction would he have? Not if he shot her, but if he just saw you shoot her. None at all, because there's no other women like you. But my point is that I think Travis would have that reaction whether or not he did it, just based on the fact that it happened. Like him seeing it, and I think it's going to be a red herring that we're going to find out later that he's like, I can't do it, gave the gun back to
And that's
Madison.
and that's what I was actually going to think now, because Travis went down to the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
We hear the gunshot and everyone's running to the body, right? But Travis is down on the beach, and then Madison joins him like later.
Right.
Like there's a gap when you see Travis on the beach and then Madison comes up. You can't really know because like they just show everyone else's reaction to the gunshot. We see Travis take the gun. There's possibilities
I thought
both
on The
sides.
Talking Dead though that they said he killed her.
Well, see, I didn't watch Talking Dead, so.
Yeah.
But they also don't give away stuff that may be played out. So it might be the kind of thing where they're like, I don't know, I could have killed her, she could have killed her, who knows? And we don't find out till next year. But I said the fact that he was on the beach before Madison, and we can't tell time because also the kid Chris gets to her body way faster than it took for them to get down there. Yeah. So we don't know about passage of time.
Chris has one of those wingsuits that he just deployed.
Jumped off. But I think that
no!
I do think that Travis being on the beach is more of a I'm so sad that happened, not that I did it. And then Madison is like, sorry I had to do that, honey. Gives him
hey, what the fuck now? Sympathy sex.
By the way, nobody asked for a change of clothes when they get to Victor's house. Like, some of them are literally covered in blood, and they're just like, I'm good.
Well, I mean, they weren't there for that long. Well,
the first thing I would ask Victor is like, so hot water on? Could I grab a shower real quick? And you got some clothes I could borrow or anything?
Get one of those nice suits and I can lawyer up.
Yeah.
No, you probably want something
a little more functional.
Functional.
Unlike Liza, who apparently has been in heels the whole time, and I'd never noticed it until right at the end. But
get some
when she's standing on the rocks, she's wearing heels.
Even though she's in scrubs?
Scrubs and heels. And I'm just like, what is this?
I'm going to have to rewatch that.
Yeah, she's wearing these boot heels. It's ridiculous. But, shoot, where was I going to say? Something about Victor's house. So we've seen...
Super nice.
Oh,
super nice.
She was wearing tennis shoes.
Nope, wearing boot heels. So we also, one thing that Colin pointed out was that Liza didn't have any bite marks through the outer layer. Now, obviously, they did that because we want to find out later.
Yeah, so it was like the kitchen scene we're saying where there was just they feel like they're safe in the kitchen, boom, zombies pop out, and in some sort of the scuffle, she got bit somehow.
But now, you guys said that you rewatched it, and you actually see a moment where a zombie bends down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we must have just
when
missed that.
the zombie grabs her and she falls back on top of that counter, that's when the zombie bends. You can see her shirt's being brushed a little bit.
Right, which is
but that's when the zombie bends down and bites her, and then what's her name comes up and
hits him with the
hits him, and then they push him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, on the car.
No offense, me personally, when I watched that scene, I honestly thought she was gonna get scratched.
Yeah.
Because the zombie was grabbing at her.
And that's what when she first showed it, and then she just showed it and then put it back down. I was like, that looked like a scratch to me.
And no offense, she said she didn't realize it till they got out and got done. Don't you think you would realize if somebody bit you?
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, the adrenaline would be pumping so much that, literally, you just got in a scuffle with a zombie, and everything's pumping. Like, okay, where's the next zombie? What are we going to do? Get out of here? Finally, when you sit down, you're like, oh, fuck, what is that? Oh, well, shit.
Oh, son of a...
That's about when I got hit with the tanker truck. I didn't feel a thing until the next day.
Right, yeah.
I knew something was wrong with my shoulder. I didn't know it was busted or anything. It was the next day I couldn't even get out of bed.
The other thing, though, is that Daniel and Ophelia don't notice either. And maybe they're worried about Ophelia's gunshot, but they're all in the back of the truck together. You would think that at some point when she lifted her shirt, Daniel is no joke. He'd be like, pow! And just shot her in the head. Liza, Ophelia, and Daniel are in the back of the truck. In the other car,
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Are Madison and
Alicia in the
Alicia,
front.
Victor and Nick in the back.
Yeah, okay.
And then Chris
Yeah.
and Travis are.
Okay,
Travis
that's
in the
right.
trunk. So, and I guess there was, again, way too many seats for the number of people they had. I guess they needed more room to carry.
Well,
their stuff.
I did like how there was no, nobody was sitting in the middle in the cab.
Right. They're all sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Suspend disbelief because we needed Gunshot Ophelia to be in the back. Dad's going to sit with her. And we can't have Liza finding the bite in the car.
Yeah.
So,
especially since, which it was on her. It was on
right
her
side.
right side.
Yeah.
So with Travis driving, Chris texted her. It's like, oh, honey, don't look.
I also-
There's also a point in time that when they get to the house, she comes from outside and says goodbye to Chris and then turns around and leaves.
And she also gives Ophelia and Daniel like a whole bag of stuff instead of being like, here, I'll be able to keep doing this. So I had a sense that something was up with her because she did say like, here, take care of this, goodbye, or we made it, I love you, and kiss him on the neck awkwardly, and then walk outside. But I didn't realize Madison was chasing her until they got down there. Travis sees Madison.
When Madison walked and saw the door open, I was like, oh, she's gonna follow her.
Yeah. So
I only saw.
And she was like, "No, we've got antibiotics. We've got a way to fix you." She said, "No, there is no way."
Yeah.
And that's when they realized that there was no hope.
Well, and I think what she has taught them in that short amount of time was, if you get bitter scratched, it's game over for you. It doesn't matter because they still haven't seen that yet. They've still only seen people getting like chewed on, not necessarily just scratched or bitten. One thing I noticed though in that fight scene in the kitchen, again, we're finally getting the show we wanted, battle between zombies. I forget how
An episode.
Well, an episode of this show. That this show is becoming what we hoped it would be. I forgot how hard it is to beat back fresh zombies. Because you see him hitting them a couple of times, but now in like season 5 of The Walking Dead, they go down a lot easier because they're starting to decompose. So
just one jab in the head.
Well, I was gonna say Rick just basically runs his fist up through the zombie's head because he's so decomposed in that last episode. But you see, they like hit him the guy in the head 3 or 4 times with the hammer to get him to go down.
That was a good last episode of season 5. That was amazing.
Of Walking Dead.
Of Walking Dead. It was amazing. It was exactly what I had. Basically exactly what I envisioned going into the episode, with then him fighting off all the zombies going, what in the fuck is going on? Crazy Pete!
Yeah. So good news about that is next Monday you'll be able to check out our review of the first episode of The Walking Dead season 6.
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I just can't.
Not as punny, but I'm also excited to see that. So
I think it'll be a very crazy first episode.
I did catch a preview.
You ended up seeing the preview.
I saw it because I didn't have the remote in my hand and I couldn't fast forward before I grabbed it.
But
I did see a couple
away neither, could you?
Well, once it's playing, it's got to play.
Yeah, you're like Oswald.
Yeah. Next time on Walking Dead, no. Okay.
So, this is our final review episode for Fear the Walking Dead, obviously, because it's the last episode. Any parting thoughts on this episode or the season? We'll start with Corinne.
Well, why me?
Any parting thoughts?
I'm still hoping Nick dies.
The overwhelming theme through the whole season, Nick's death.
He's got to die at some point.
I don't think he's gonna die.
I think that we are more likely to have characters introduced who then die than for Nick to die. It's going to be it's going to be the farmhouse or the jail where new people get introduced, we start to love them, and they die. But
like Harry Potter died, and
Harry Potter,
the guy that looked like Harry Potter in the prison, he died in the bathroom.
Right. All right. So, parting thoughts in this? That was season 3, season 4.
I think so.
Yeah,
probably episode 3 or 4.
Maybe the second half.
He caught the flu and died in the showers.
Yeah.
Came back and infected some people in prison.
It was the swine flu. It was
whatever.
That's right. Yeah,
they won. All right. So, parting thoughts on the season and this episode.
I am underwhelmed. That was a cool. It was a cool last episode. We got some battle. the thousands of zombies kind of became irrelevant after a point because, like, one of the things I noticed was, like, the fence. They're defending the fence, and they're, like, kind of fighting back against the fence, and then you see the first hole appear in the fence, and then all the other holes appear at the exact same fucking time. Guard tower falls over, you know, there's just... It just is going to happen with this many zombies, but I was like, okay... Alright, more...
By the way,
you going to go into the compound then? And then...
Does not bode well that the military fired that many rounds and didn't take down that many zombies. Like,
Because
you
they
know
weren't
it's
aiming for the
headshots.
head.
Oh,
Yeah, but you know you need
I know.
headshots.
Also, come on. If they see all those zombies and they're like, you know, why not just put one or two into this guy who let them all out? You know,
You would think.
or just like, well, it probably wouldn't be one because other evidence.
Well, I was gonna say,
I-
the M223, the machine gun he has up top, dude, you are firing like 700 rounds a minute, and I'm seeing that the guy with the M16 is hitting more kills than you
Yeah.
are. He's just like, bada, 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 and nobody's going down. Just, do better. And here's the
Yeah.
problem, though. A crowd that thick, from that angle, it's all heads. It's all just aiming down into the heads. And I know that you don't want to burn that many of your zombie actors
And there's no-
and have them pile up or whatever.
and
but-
there's not, you know, grenades. You don't have grenades.
That was my first thought.
Any explosives.
Throw a
to-
grenade in that big crowd.
Like, so that's one of, like, the big thing, like, one of the main zombie pictures or something from, like, Dawn of the Dead or something. It was an actual artistic... yeah.
Fan fiction?
No, but it's like the truck is just surrounded by zombies.
Yeah.
And they throw the propane tank in there and shoot the propane tank.
Right.
You know, just, I mean, it's the military. They have some form of grenade launchers, some form of just actual frag grenades, because they used one in the last episode.
Yeah.
Soldiers in there were equipped with frag grenades.
But, and it's not going to kill the zombies. But you take out the leg and they're not walking towards you
Yeah.
anymore. Anything.
Well, it's like in
If
Left
it doesn't destroy the brain, it'll slow them down a whole hell
or
of a lot.
or do the old Call of Duty trick, which is you pull the pin, wait 2, 3, then throw it,
Yeah.
so it blows up in midair.
Just don't, you know, hold it. That'd be really dumb. But in Left 4 Dead, you can shoot the zombies' legs out and they're dead because that's the moving really fast
Right.
zombies and they just go away. But I felt very underwhelmed, basically with how it ended, as well with them then escaping the compound, just like driving scenes to see the destruction, talking, gunshot, wait 12 months. I feel underwhelmed. I wish if they're gonna do it in 6 months for the next like physical calendar season,
Yeah.
for like summer, you know, after The Walking Dead ends. But if they're gonna do the same thing again, go season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, season 7 Walking Dead. I might not want to watch Fear
I
the
have a
Walking Dead.
question real quick. In the last, like, couple seconds when they're zooming out, you see all that kelp in the water?
Yeah.
Is kelp usually red?
There is a red
It
kelp.
can be, yeah.
And it's actually healthy for you.
If you
But
combine
no,
it
well-
with green kelp, you can get a good potion that'll fill your whole life up. Resident Evil logic.
So I
Anyway.
spray bottle you. But no, what they're gonna do is they're gonna do half a season of Fear the Walking Dead, half season of Walking Dead, half season of Fear, half season of Walking Dead. Then we'll have 2 months without zombies.
That's what their plan was. If this takes off, I think that they'll end up changing the 15 episode season 2 into a 16, so they can do 8 and 8, like they're doing with Walking Dead.
Right.
So you get what 2 months of a show. They take a break. The other show comes on.
Right.
That 2 months goes through. Then the other half.
What we're saying is
other
buy
one.
their products so they can fund all this shit.
Please support. But no, so I was
Sound fucking-
I was underwhelmed for another reason. As somebody who likes the genre, I was really excited to see what happened at the beginning, and I think they fast forwarded through all of that to get to a zombie horde. Things break down, and they're on the run again. That's essentially what Walking Dead has been for
I don't
6
think
seasons.
it would have been that if they would have had more than 6 episodes first.
Probably not, but the problem is you got people like Weiner over here complaining that we didn't have enough action through the first couple episodes, and I am okay with
They were
that.
also trying to show how fast it spread too.
And I'm okay with all that too, but in one of the episodes they skipped forward 9 days, and there's a lot of stuff we could have seen in 9 days. And they write different characters, and we see different characters. Like Adams is a regular trooper instead of a quartermaster, and he's going out into the shit, and we're seeing the DZ from his perspective. I mean, they totally could have done that, but I think they raced through the whole as it starts to break down and went straight for the zombies. They know their crowd.
Well, you
They
never
what
know.
their crowd
The
wants.
next season they might do flashbacks.
There might be, but I was really excited to see the basically the first 2 episodes. I wanted the whole season to be the first 2 episodes, where it's just things are starting to go awry and we don't know what's going on, but they want to get re-upped. They want to get a season 2. The way you do that is by ending with zombie hordes.
Is The Walking Dead gonna be as long as the Fear the Walking Dead episodes?
Well, this one is longer.
Yeah.
It was an hour and 11
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it was an hour and a half with commercial breaks.
Yeah, and the first episode was an hour and a half. I wish we could get an hour and a half of Walking Dead because
But the other 4 were
Just an
hour long episodes. Yeah. So
parting thoughts on the season and the episode.
It started out slow, but I kept watching as a fan of the genre.
Yeah.
And Walking Dead. I like the way it ended. I wish it would have been a little more tension that they left us with, more on a cliff.
Right.
Right now we just see that.
They were on a cliff.
Fine.
Alright,
I get
that one I will give you credit for.
I get it.
I will give you credit for that.
I almost felt like it was a same style of ending as Walking Dead season 1.
Yeah.
Without the CDC blowing it and it don't not in chaos.
Right.
I wish there would have been chaos there. Like maybe the zombies heard that gunshot and the final scene was that horde coming that way.
I was like, you scan up and over the house and you see them start to moving towards the house.
That would be like, oh
the-
shit, they're coming.
Yeah.
I think the house was too picture perfect to allow any zombies
Yeah.
anywhere within a 10-mile radius.
No,
of the show.
they'll rebuild it on the set
Right.
if it was an actual
Well,
house.
but I think that part of that was the sense that we've gotten from all of the episodes of The Walking Dead is that you're just never safe. And they want you to feel safe. When they find the prison and they get into prison and they're like inside the walls, we're finally safe. Nope, not safe
Carl
anywhere.
finally stepped up and he found the medical room on his own and his mommy got pissed off.
Well, even before that, the farmhouse seemed safe. They left us with the farmhouse feeling like it was safe, and it wasn't safe.
It's just all the herds that come. Whenever a herd comes,
Every
they
place
gotta
they
switch.
go-
Alexandria.
Safe.
Alexandria felt safe, but now at the end of the season, somebody let the zombies in, and Rick drops the body right there by the fire.
Yeah.
Like,
I
so
think he caught the preview, so.
yeah,
Like, why is it slowly like sliding
It was
down?
sliding
because he
down.
just likes it.
Like when I stopped there, it had hit the Dirty Shore Underground banner and like flung it around a little bit.
But no,
Your parting thoughts on
well, no,
the
I already
season and episode.
gave mine. But
Okay.
I think that that them not rushing the house is just like, okay, we're safe for now. We have a plan, and we know that episode 1 of season 2 is going to be your plan's shit. It's not going to work out. Here come the zombies. Run, run, run. That'll be it.
I do think in season 2 we'll probably see flashbacks for those.
And I hope so.
I think-
I kind of thought the desert was a good idea. Like,
I think
the
it was.
desert, nothing.
If they had, you know what I'm thinking
What, are
now?
you gonna have zombie cannibals?
I liked how in the books, this book 1 ends at the very end of the prison
Right.
when everyone splits up.
Right.
And book 2 starts where, Carl and Rick and Michonne meet up and everyone kind of gets back together after
Right.
that. But at the end of the book where everyone, it's unsure about where you're going to go. It is the cliffhanger where everyone at the end of this episode, everyone is going to stay here for at least another episode.
Right.
You know where they're going to be and where they're going to end up.
Well, and
Rather
we know,
than something where you just don't
Right.
know in the wilderness.
but we know the characters. We know that Victor doesn't give a shit. He'll leave him if he has to. We know that Liza's dead, so that's going to throw a whole bunch of turmoil in the family. And Daniel and Ophelia are there for each other more than anyone else. Now, I think that they'll probably stay, but there's the possibility that this crew has to split up, but they are safe, quote unquote, safe for now. They have a plan. We know the plan's going to go to shit, and then we'll see what happens on the other side.
As far as flashback goes, this is what I'm going to call.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping I'll
Go
be
ahead.
right come season 2. We know Chris was always running around with the video camera.
Right.
So, assuming he still has the video camera, we'll probably see that footage throughout season 2 where he's...
That could be
Is
as
it
well
like
what
a-
happened during those 9 days. Yeah.
So like Breaking Bad with the season 2 with the like bear and whatnot.
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
swimming pool.
Flashing back.
Yeah.
Well, and here's my prediction.
Actually, that was a
I am going to
foreshadowing.
guarantee you, foreshadowing. sorry.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. We are going to see Victor. He's going to be at a political event. I bet you it's at City Hall. He will be in a ballroom with big hanging chandeliers, hobnobbing when everyone says, everyone here needs to, when the military shows up and says we all need to go. So that is my very specific prediction, and I really hope that they show where he was when he got taken. Yeah.
One issue.
What?
Where's the rest of the dressed up people in the locked up area?
Maybe he did something past that. I
Yeah.
think I like that prediction because
I think
his house, his dress, even if he's not like a member of like he's not an actual politician or works in like City Hall or any
Yeah.
political job, he definitely seems like a person who would have money to
Connected.
donate.
Connected person.
And
yeah.
he would be in this ballroom setting.
Well,
Okay,
and
I like that.
One thing that you saw in the background, there were some people in the jail that were dressed up, but or that section, the off section. I think that most likely something with zombies breaks out in that room, and half the people blood got bitten, got something else, and they got cattle prodded or what's it called?
Or if it's an event, a big gala event, the mayor, the donors
they
go
all
that
go.
way,
Yeah.
and then the mayor is, the underground bunker or something
Right.
like
So
that.
I mean that's a possibility too. That half the people didn't make it there because they were special and got to go wherever government people went. So
I want to say that Victor
Yeah.
probably did something to purposely get himself sent there to be in the center of their command so he could work his...
well, that's
shit.
true. It's true too. He may have said initially that he's willing to go because it's safe, at least for the time being, and he knows he can feel his way out. That's true too.
And
But
he might have thought in the process, there's going to be weapons there.
right.
Going to need weapons.
Here's my call. You are going to see Victor in a ballroom with big hanging chandeliers, dressed to the nines, in the tux that he had.
With his
doing-
wife or daughter who
No.
died.
Nope,
No.
neither of them are going to be there. We're going to find out
And
about
that's
her
why the
later.
boat's name is Abigail.
We're going to find out about her later. So that is our season 1 review for Fear the
Finale
Walking Dead.
review.
Make sure that you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com. New episodes of the podcast every Thursday. We'll have at least one more bonus episode next week for the Walking Dead premiere. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go on iTunes, leave a rating, and leave a little review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, so we can bring more content.
Don't
And
just
you do
watch the YouTube videos. Go check out the audio too. It helps everybody
Yeah,
involved.
and make sure, and even leaving ratings and reviews on YouTube always help too. So make sure you do that. Where can people find you online?
Dirty Shore UG on Twitter and Facebook. YouTube is /C/underground UG -OTA.
Colin Graves on Uncommon Gaming Streams, Uncommon GS on Twitter and Facebook. Like and follow. We're getting the streaming back up.
Keep hearing that. Haven't seen it yet. And of course, Oh the Anthem podcast, new episodes every Tuesday. Make sure you check that out today at ohtheanthem.com. You can find me on all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Also check out robertncheek.com so that you can see the blog and the news website and all the political stuff that I do, and links to buy my books on Amazon. Go to Amazon and buy my books.
Bye, Rob Books.
Go to Amazon and buy my
Oh,
books.
she didn't throw her arms up this time. I was waiting for it. She's been doing it every week. Now this week.
Touchdown!
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so thank you all for tuning in. Again, this is the Fear the Walking Dead episode 6 and season recap. Tune in next week for the episode 1 of season 6 of The Walking Dead review, and new episode this and every Thursday at DirtyShoreUnderground.com.
What episode do we have coming up Thursday?
I don't know. We'll have to check and see. It's one or the other one. I think it might be the costumes.
Yo, yeah, it is.
DDP yoga update
yep,
and the costumes. So make sure you check that out at DirtyShoreUnderground.com. And make sure that you check out the live stream. Like Dirty Shore UG on Twitter and Facebook. Follow so that you can get updates for the live stream, so you can come in and comment and participate just like Lisander Rivera has right now.
Yes.
So
Outstanding
this is the funny thing. Just because there's only one person watching, it goes to YouTube,
right.
and then we get 50 to 60, 70
Right.
views.
But
in a
it's,
couple
if
days,
you
so.
if you watch it while it's live, you can participate live during the episode. Otherwise, catch it on YouTube after the fact, if that's how you prefer to watch.
Or
So,
go to O the Anthem.
go to the Anthem. Go to DirtyShoreUnderground.com. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of the podcasts on the OD Anthem Digital Network.
Who the hell is named Lysander?
Somebody from YouTube.
Have a great week, everybody.
Kill these goddamn flies!
I can't find the fly swatter!
I've been killing them all day with a fucking book.
That and I'm addicted to Diablo. So Diablo in my streaming doesn't work well.
Oh, is that right?
Resolutions, yeah.
Well, then maybe you should get Diablo for PS4.
You
maybe.
liked Kenny's status on somebody bring me a fly swatter.
I did.
Where's my
So
fly
why did he
swatter?
bring a fly swatter?
I don't have a fly swatter.
You know what you do? You find a praying mantis and you put it on a stick and you wave it around gently.